you still have to go back and hit record.
Gotcha.
I messed up. Morning,
Hey,
Chris.
Chris.
Morning. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How in the world are you?
Not too bad. Busy, but busy's good.
Yeah.
Is it a good busy?
It is.
All right. Well, that's
If
the
not, it's wasteful then, right?
well, no, there's times when you just have to be non-good busy sometimes.
Yeah.
How was your trip out west? I couldn't believe you and Brian didn't connect. Brian O'Neill.
I don't know. You're talking Camp Redwood?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how we missed each other. Yeah, it's a bummer.
He said he saw you across the room and then he got in a conversation, then he went to find you and you were gone or something. I said, whatever.
That's a bummer. I would have loved to have spoken to him. It was an interesting conference. A lot of eclectic, different groups of people there, and yeah, it was interesting.
Good. Hey, Sheila, how are you?
Hi everyone. Hi Bill. I'm well. How are you?
Good. You in Uganda? You're back, right?
No, I'm in South Sudan.
Oh, okay. South Sudan. I
Yeah,
thought you were in Uganda. You're in South Sudan.
yeah. I'll
Well,
be back.
she's just up there right now for a visit with her founder. She's at our Leadership Academy, and then you obviously are part of the second Leadership Academy being built in northern Uganda. So she's there probably doing VIP escort, probably, Sheila.
Fun stuff. We're at
Oh,
38 degrees. Cool
okay. A
things.
little warm. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to Eswatini in 3 weeks. So I'll be there for just about a week. It'll be a quick trip.
Yeah.
Now, do you live in Uganda or do you live in South Sudan?
I live in Uganda.
Okay. All right. So I'm not too crazy.
No,
No,
you
you're
had
not
it right.
crazy at all.
All right.
Yeah.
Is Gail going to join us, Chris?
She is. I think she's having some issues. I'm trying to help her right now.
Okay.
Um, for your invite, it doesn't just automatically point up, and when you hit join, you actually have to go down in the notes section below to do it. So I think she's just operator. That's where I went. Yeah,
Hmm.
she's not getting in. Hmm.
I'll set us up a WhatsApp or Chaser. I will,
Well, or
and we.
maybe resend it. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
she says she's doing it.
Yeah. Let me copy the link and I'll tell her to look at her email and I'll send it to her.
Via email.
Yeah, I'll just send it to her via email. Coming at her. And Chris, I don't know how you want to do this call today, but Chase
Hmm.
and I put together kind of what we're calling our action items, KPIs. Um, and we've just done it through like
Yep.
July. And
Perfect.
we can go through this on the call and I've put or we've put kind of three columns. We flagged some things that need discussion. We've starred some things that are kind of critical, like receiving the documents in April. And then when we complete something, we'll review this at least every couple of weeks, but this would be living and breathing. But would you like to kind of do it that way?
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. I have a board meeting next week, so I'd like to one discuss those and then be able to have send me a copy of that.
Yeah.
And the focus of this meeting, we only have an hour. We've got to jump on a call with the rest of the African team
Okay. Well, we
at
can do
eight
whatever
here.
we can
Yeah,
do
but what I
whatever
yes,
you
sir.
want.
But what I want to do is be able to just nail down our activities for the next, 30 days, which I think are critical. And we've already launched on some things that we now need to play catch up with you. Also
Okay.
want to talk about what you want in the folder file, what you already have versus what you want new, so you can give us that as an action item, Chase or Bill. Let me, Gail, hopefully Gail comes on. Let me pray for us,
Good.
and then we'll get started. Father in heaven, yeah, just thank you for this time. So grateful for Third Lens, Bill and Chase and the entire team and their expertise. And Father, we just want to glorify you with the second school, and so we need your wisdom. We invite you into this meeting now to guide us and give us the discernment of best decisions, best use of limited resources that would honor you and the young men and women that we get to serve. I pray protection over this team for families and health and just everything that can happen over the next 18 months to thwart our efforts, Lord, to serve you. Protect us, guide us. We love you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And Chase is recording this, so we'll send out YouTube links whenever
all
we
right.
meet.
That wasn't my best prayer. Let's start over again. I didn't know. Just joking.
Because we got to make sure everybody knows we're praying, right?
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's start with February, and let's kind of cover what's hot for this month. And
You want
then
to you want to download, catch us up first, or do you want to just I can pull up the list?
let's use your checklist that you have.
Okay.
And let's go through it.
All right. I've got our agreement on the top. I just want to make sure there's no questions, or I think you're the last one, Chris. So I wanted to check on that.
I'm sorry, say that again. Come on, Ron, Gail, if you want.
That's okay.
Is Gail coming in?
Yeah, she's in my office listening.
Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't get in, Gail.
I think it's my computer, so.
All right. Gremlins this morning. I've got our agreement at the top of the list. Just Chris, you were the last one to sign it, and I just want to make sure no questions or anything, or I need to resend it or what have you.
No, I think we're both good. You good, Kel? Yep.
Okay. All right. If you could just sign the DocuSign, then we'll get things in motion from our end.
Okay.
And what Chase and I tried to do is go back through emails, any meetings we've had, and just capture, items on here. And we put them in the months that I think you had, or Sheila, you had on your emails. And some of these we've got some questions, but just vetting the construction companies, we thought, if you can, that's to answer your first question, Chris, if you could drop as much as you want on the construction firms into that file so we can just start reviewing who they are. Chase, you want to comment any on that?
No, I mean, that's really it. We just gotta get a feel for them and, try to understand what they've done and what they're capable of doing.
And if you don't have information, we can have a call and you can just tell us who they are and we can find the information. But we just thought during the month that'd be good if we could start vetting those companies. And then
real quick, stuff right there. Sheila, we should already have the 5 or 6 companies, and then I thought they were going to do a condensed version pitch just showing like items. Have you collected all that from the 5 or 6 that we've talked to? Do you have all that information?
So we have the initial 5 or 6 that we had. We have all that information on file, so I can just send those up to, I can put those in the file in the folder so that we all have access to them.
Okay.
We did tell them that we're going to do a little more in the technical review, so that they do a good technical bid for us with certain details on the people who will be running the project.
Okay.
So it would be good if Third Lens can speak into that, because most of them are ready to go with that rest.
Okay.
Anything else we want to have in that technical evaluation, we need to communicate to them so that they put that together and give it to us.
First step is for us just to review who you've talked to and kind of look at what their qualifications are. And a lot of this, what we're going to talk about this morning is Chase and I are going to kind of divide and conquer. Actually, this is supposed to be Bill. I'm going to take the schedule and Chase is going to take the budget. And during this month, we're going to be putting together a good Gantt chart, Chris, with a lot of details. Being ex-military, you'll love that. And so a lot of what we'll talk about today, we're going to, by the end of this month, we want to put together that good Gantt chart. But all vetting them, we thought the month of February, if we can really get our arms around what they're capable of, then that will kind of lead the decision whether we have one civil works contractor and one building contractor, or Chase had recommend potentially two contractors. So we'll kind of start looking through all that and evaluating during this month, and not make any decisions on contractors this month. But we'll just kind of start that process.
Yeah, no, agreed. And if we're missing any of the five that we send you or six, if any of those, there's others that you recommend, then
Yep.
Sheila, we can get them in and bring them in as well. I do think the highest priority though is vetting our engineering candidates. What did we end up with when we closed out the
89. We have 89 applications.
Hello.
So Nora is coming those for any duplicates.
Okay.
Once we've cleaned out all duplicates, I don't know, Bill, if you're okay with us dropping all of them in the folder, and then we can vet.
Sure. Yeah, just drop whatever you have and chasing out.
Sheila, do we want to look at all? Do you want to look at all 89, or do you want us to cut
Because
it
the
down?
first level is technical. So we will comb through and see
Right.
anyone who maybe doesn't match the criteria and X that based off of the initial criteria.
That'd
I
be
don't know if
great.
you had any feedback from the job description, anything you wanted to add from the JD?
Well, that's kind of done, right? I mean, the job description.
There was a
Um,
few
So,
things that we thought we
yeah.
might ask them, like if you're doing an interview, that we could add to that list, like, Excel spreadsheets that they're able to handle that, and Zoom calls, as we will be meeting a lot of times over Zoom, and just a few small
Basic process.
criteria. Nothing that I don't think they'll be able to handle after they get through the first vetting process, especially with some of the stuff that you had put on there, Sheila.
Yeah, the one comment I would have had before it went out was kind of that age range. And I don't know if I would, our recommendation would be not to eliminate guys or girls if they're not within that age range. Because you might get someone I can't remember, what is the age range on there? It's like through
I think
45
it
or so. It's
was,
pretty young,
yeah,
right, Chris?
Hold
So,
on, I got it
45.
right here. It's
It was up to, I think, 45 years old.
yeah. So
We're
you might
talking
find
about
somebody
an
with some pretty
estimate
good
of 10
experience, a
to
little bit older than that.
15.
That would be my
Yeah.
suggestion.
I don't think the limit is more on the bottom end than on the upper end,
Mhm. Yeah.
because we
Years
don't
of
want someone
experience
who's too young.
exactly. You don't want
Yeah.
a 25-year-old out there. I get
Yeah.
that. But maybe as y'all are trying to go through and eliminate some, if you do see some that are older than that, maybe just keep them in for at least the first pass, and we'll just see. We need if it's an
So,
older person, they got to have energy.
yeah. Our expectation is that the first round of interviews is technical, so that's where we need your expertise most. So the
Perfect.
first list will be coming through with your support.
Okay. Well, you just
Yeah.
start dropping those in, and we'll talk again in a week or two.
So
We'll
when
set
we vet, we will not eliminate on basis of age. We'll
Great.
only eliminate on the basis of qualifications, and anyone who has duplicate will only submit one.
Great.
perfect.
And this is just we had said we're going to interview them this month. I don't know if that's going to be realistic, to be honest with you. I think if we could get down to 5 or 6 candidates or 8, to interview, and then interview them the first part of March, I think that would be a good target. We can keep it here. Let's shoot for that. I just don't want us to get to the end of the month and Chris say we didn't hit a KPI. So
I think we'd need to do the first round of interviews in this month because
okay,
of the notice period. Notice periods in Uganda can be sticky. So we need
what's
the
that?
person to come. Notice period
Oh, okay. All right, let's
can be
stick with
sticky.
that and see how it goes.
Yeah.
The other ones, like I talked about, we really want to dig into the information this month, like we talked about, and start developing those budgets. A lot of the budget is, Gail, what you've put together. We just want to put it in our format and then identify any gaps. So we'll be working on that. these administrative items, these are some of this is behind the scenes, but we're going to set the project up in Procore. We have not done that yet. So we'll get a project number and invite you guys to Procore. That's our project management system. That's where we'll house all of our meeting minutes, all of our we'll put EMI's design in there so anybody can access those. So we've got access to that. And then biweekly meetings right now. And Sheila, we're available. You can call us anytime. These are just our set meetings. So if we determine we need to have an official meeting with you in the off weeks, we can do that. But we just thought if we can set up biweekly meetings right now with this team, and then you call me or Chase anytime you want. You've got access to us.
Yeah.
All right.
And along with that, Sheila,
The
if
weekly
we
one
go
is
ahead.
Chase.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sheila.
Go ahead, Sheila.
The reason I had put the weekly with Chase is because as we're starting off with a number of activities. Because we have the hiring, which is critical, and we have the construction company. So a lot of those, there's groundwork that we need to do earlier. So I thought for the beginning, once we have those set up, then we can go back to the biweekly.
Okay.
What's your thoughts, Sheila, on right directly after this meeting, if me and you need to stay on and cover some of those details so that we're not producing another meeting throughout the week? Would that work with you?
Yes, it would. As if it is on Wednesdays, it would have to be maybe earlier.
Okay.
Because I have another meeting that starts right after this.
Okay. Well, and we can narrow down which day it is. Maybe at the end of this meeting, whatever date and time works best for everybody.
And y'all can meet before this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something that's in our court. We're going to be developing a monthly project status report, and Chris and Gail and Sheila will get with you guys to see what, everything we do is around scope, schedule, and budget. That's kind of the big three that we manage. So we can, this is not going to be a real extensive, this will be like a dashboard, but every month you'll kind of see how things are progressing on scope, schedule, and budget. And we'll develop that this month. And Chris, if that's something you need to share with the board, we can make it where it's board effective.
Yeah, the first one is next week. That's too quick. I could take this and just give them a highlight that we started working with you this month, and then the next time we have our board meeting, when is it? June, July, somewhere in there.
Budget.
Yeah, it'd be June. Will be our next board meeting. We'll be hot and heavy by that point. I'll probably be required to go to the building committee and our founder before then, probably next month, as we get serious into hiring the engineer either into this month, early next month, and then also the companies. Those will be things that the final one or two, I'm sure he's going to want to be involved with and looking at people in their eyes.
Well, it'll be something we do for you guys, and then it's up to you if you want to send it to the board. That's all I meant. So
no, perfect. I'm just saying it's so quick for next week that I think I'm enough, but the next time, absolutely, that'd be awesome. That'd be helpful.
What else is on y'all's mind for February?
Yeah, I think so. Let me give you some expectation management, Dylan and Chase. I must have the master schedule as good as we have and the budget completed by no later than late March. Gail and I have a requirement by our president to be with pretty good rough sketches and predictability and stuff for both the timeline, project schedule, and then the budget. So I love that you're starting that in February. Fine tune it. Obviously, it'll grow and change, but we have a real hard discussion of the budget. And really, what I want to put in the back pocket for you to think about is what cost or activities and expenses that we're going to incur before July 1st, really in June, and what is then going to be pushed to the right of that. That's our fiscal year switchover. So for us, it's very important to understand what we'll be spending, hiring a new candidate, any pre-prep stuff that you recommend in the month of June or earlier, and then after July, what those expenses will look like. And I'm very interested in your thought process of when we really, the no drop dead time to start this, as you look at the project schedule. I think we can delay up to probably maybe August and still be okay with 16, 17 months for the January opening in 2027. But I'll let you independently with your expertise tell me what ground really should look like.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So for me, in February, again, just dovetailing on what Chris said about expenditures that would be expected in this fiscal year, are those pre-construction items that getting those on the schedule and making sure we are prepped. So I don't know that the wells have been drilled. You know, obviously we'll need water. We'll need storage. So if that's buying a container, getting it moved, or building something, we need fencing, whether it's fencing the entire campus or fencing, intermediate fencing, potentially some roads. I don't know what kind of, you know, access we have, but all of those things I feel like are not the things that EMI was really focusing on. And like I personally feel like we just need to get those really nailed down and then timelined so we know when we need to do those. Because I would hate to be thinking we're starting in August and then we look up and have a delay because of some pre-construction needs.
Prep stuff that we could have done.
That we didn't do.
Right.
Certainly before we start getting delivery of materials, we need to figure out our storage and our inventory process and all of that. So I'd like all that to be prepped. And I know August seems like a long time since we're just February, but man, the months just fly by.
Okay. We'll try to knock that out in February. Chase, you watching this?
Yeah.
Something added?
And a lot of that stuff I had put in that email too, stuff that could be being worked on now. And so me and Sheila can track those items also.
Hey, man. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping that you guys will do is get into the weeds, and then Sheila, from Chase's expertise, drive Gail and I for understanding and expectations of what needs to be done before the end of June.
Yeah.
We do have one water well though that was drilled at the school, so we've got that. We just may need another one. Not sure.
Is the one that was drilled, is it a hand pump?
Sheila, you'll have to tell
We
me.
still need to install the pump. The pump hasn't been installed yet, but the well was drilled.
So is it planned to be a hand pump, Sheila?
No,
No,
it's not.
it's going to be a solar powered pump.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Solar powered pump.
Yeah, you'll definitely need a what they call a production well, so that you can get as much water out as possible, especially when we get into heavy construction.
Okay. We got you in February, Gail.
So
what else in February?
Yeah, so anything else, Sheila, from my perspective, what I'd like to do is end this a little early so you and Chase can talk before our meeting at 8 o'clock, Sheila, so you and Chase can nail down your kind of rhythm of meetings. So what does it look like every other week? What's best for you, Bill and Chase, for every 2 weeks that we're formally meeting as a collective group?
If we meet at this time, I'm pretty much free every day except Tuesday. I have a meeting at this same time on Tuesday.
Yeah, are Wednesdays good for you and Gail, Chris?
The problem with that is yeah, I don't want to rush this meeting if there's something important, and so I feel like I'm rushing it right now, but I wanted to get this kicked off. Wednesday is probably not the best because we always have a hard stop at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time for our leadership team meeting, which is once a week, and it's nobody can miss it type of thing. And so for me, Thursdays would be the best, but I don't know about you, Sheila. What about you?
Thursday's the only day that does not work for me at this time. I've got another Africa call on Thursdays. How about Tuesdays?
Tuesdays is the only day that I can't do it, Bill. I've got the ECG team meeting at 7.
How about a Monday?
Ugh. We've got all of our staff meetings on Monday. But we could do this at 7 on Monday.
I mean, I just think Wednesdays, I mean, we're already meeting if we needed to, I
We need-
know, stop, but once we get into a cadence, we should have not as much conversation, getting to the point and just,
Yeah, if you think we're going to be efficient, as long as we can stop at about 5 till 8, we can do Wednesdays and just, we'll come back or email and stuff.
Yeah. Let's do Wednesdays, and if we need breakout meetings away from this one, we can do that. But at least that'll give us a set time to huddle, at least this group.
Okay. All right, Bill, I'll let you set that for every other week, and then Sheila, you and Chase can talk about what you need to do to get started for February for these little nitty-gritty things.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sheila, we might can just meet 30 minutes earlier than this time to begin with and just knock some things out.
Speaking of kind of one-off meetings, I think I would, once you kind of get things into Procore, I would love to have a budget exclusive meeting, just so that make sure I'm clear on just how everything has been accounted for, and I just would like to be prepared and knowledge.
We can definitely do that.
And me, I'm just saying a budget, like just the budget.
Yep.
Yep. We can do it.
Can definitely do that. And we're going to get to know each other better, but one of the things that we do with Heart for Africa that might be helpful with you guys with 4Africa is, we've got scheduled out the next 6 months when the contractor or the engineers, we have cutoff dates from when they need to get our invoices in for the projects. That Wednesday, I meet with the CFO of Heart for Africa and go over the expenses for the year, how we've already projected them, but how we did on those projections for that month. And then on Fridays, we send a wire amount to their bookkeeper in Eswatini. So it works pretty well. We've got a pretty good cadence, and that might be something, Gail, that we get on with you as we get the project going. And then we could have Sheila, we could have the project engineer involved in those meetings as well.
That sounds good.
Because they know how much money they need to have in the project budget for the rest of this year, at least already. And that's what we want to do with you guys.
Okay.
All right. You want to keep going, or you want to?
Yeah, let's highlight March and we'll stop there.
Okay.
For the fence, it's something we can start working on for this quarter. We already have it in George's Rocks.
Say that again, Sheila.
fence.
The fence.
Yeah. The chain link fence.
You're asking, you want to get it done in February or
I'm saying we already have it in George's Rocks for this quarter.
okay. So what you're saying is you want to have that started. Let's look at the cost. I haven't even heard what the cost would be to fence it, so I don't even know where to say yes or what type of fence. And I haven't seen that bubble up. So what I would need is for you to work with George to give us a couple recommendations. Type of fence, cost. We're just doing it around the 25 acres for the campus, and then we can bring that up in an L10, and then we can make a quick decision right there with Alex.
Okay, so
And Gail just said Mr. Radler will want to know as well what type of fence we're putting up. So if he's there and you already know you're on the ground talking to him and he's like, yeah, the fence we have at last is great, then you'll help us speed that process up.
great, we'll do that. Because it's in the preliminary budget, the one that we worked on that Gail has and that you have. It's for a chain link. We have the preliminary quote estimate in there.
Yeah.
What George is supposed to do is get us do the study, measure the meters for the 25 acres, and then work out several quotes, which we would be discussing all through the steps.
Perfect. Yeah. Just while you're there, you were innocent, just say, hey, we're looking at doing the same type of fence that we have at last. He gets a thumbs up, then that'll make my job easier with Alex, Gail, and Ida to say, yep, get going. Perfect.
Great.
Okay.
If he gives the thumbs down, then you can walk back from South Sudan back to Kampala.
It's a short distance.
Yes, it is.
All right. For March, you guys had hire the 4Africa project engineer. And let's just keep that as our objective for March. By the end of March, let's try and make that happen. Y'all go with that?
Sheila, though, we're going to try to push it a little bit faster. It would be nice because typically, it could be 1 to 2 months, depending on where they work at now, before they can be freed up with some of the Ugandan labor laws. So, again, I don't want to go too fast. This is probably our most important hire that we're going to have, but obviously want us to be as aggressive as possible without compromising the best person.
So our goal is to get somebody to accept the position in March.
Yeah.
And if we don't, it slides to April, but that'll be our target for March for that. We'd like to develop a list of quantity surveyors, at least during the month of March, and have somebody on board. And this is something, Sheila, we can talk about more with you, but when we're getting these, we want to have things in place when we receive these construction designs from EMI. That's one question. Let me ask while I'm thinking about it. Have they given you a date on when we're going to get these in April? Is it beginning of the month or end of the month? I didn't know what date to put in there. Or do we need to talk to them and find out?
We don't have a specific date, but they say they would be able to give them to us by last conversation is end of March. So that's why we put April.
Okay.
Beginning of April.
All right. So we'll put beginning of April. But anyway, we just want to make sure when we get those drawings, we've got several things lined up that we can get them in the hands and get our own BOQ developed from a QS, and have our contractor selected, hopefully, or have at least 3 or 4 contractors selected that we can send them those pretty quickly as soon as we receive them. Does that all make sense? You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You gonna say something, Sheila?
For clarity's sake, we're sending the BOQs to the contractors that we've selected, or when we're getting the designs, we're sending to the quantity surveyor that we've selected so that they can give us BOQs that we pass on to.
Yeah, you don't have a BOQ yet, do you?
That's what I'm assuming we're doing the second one because we don't have BOQs yet.
Right. So we'll need to get a quantity surveyor to develop that BOQ for us, absence of a contractor. That'll be our independent BOQ.
Yeah.
The question is can you get a win-win? Will the construction engineer be able to do the BOQs, same person, same abilities, or is it 2 separate people?
The construction engineer, who would that be? The project engineer?
The one we're hiring.
Can they also do the same thing, do the quantity surveyor as well? We did interview people that fit into both those roles, could do construction and also had quantity surveyor expertise.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
Yeah.
And with us, me and Sheila kind of overseeing that takeoff, I think that's definitely a possibility.
Okay,
that'd be great. So we should know as we're vetting those candidates if they'd be able to do both. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We said in March, develop the scope for that local architect. If all they're going to do is, we just need to develop the scope, what we expect from them. I just said thorough review of design documents to date. That's just something Chase and I just need to dig into what EMI's done so far. And I
Yeah.
did not
And
put,
1 second, Bill.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and when we say define that scope for the local architect, we're going to use EMI to help define that scope,
Yeah.
because they'll know what is needed out of that architect.
Yeah, the last time we had a conversation, we're finalizing about 4 different buildings. They said they had a couple by name folks that they would recommend for our architect of record. So Sheila, can you close that loop for us with EMI and bring Chase into the fold of who we might select based upon EMI's recommendation, who they worked with before that understands EMI and can help translate their construction diagrams into approvals and get things in motion.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll just get the list from Val and share it with Chase.
Thank you.
And something I forgot. Can you guys introduce us to the EMI people?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
We've got a project manager in Valerie, and then yeah, we can also wherever else. Sheila, why don't you think about that, and we'll figure out whether it's your separate meeting or something that Bill and Chase can be on just to do a quick introduction.
Yeah. Just so if we need to talk to them, we can.
Yeah. Yep.
We know EMI, so, but we just don't know the individuals.
Yeah, the project manager is the one that probably is the most important, which will definitely make happen. Valerie's been fantastic.
Good. And she's in their Uganda office, right?
She's an architect by profession, but she's also this was kind of one of her first big projects to lead.
Okay, cool. And then during the month of March, this list is not inclusive, I'm sure. Not all inclusive, but just we need to define the approval process. If we want to break ground by August, we just need to define what is the district and county leaders approval. What does that mean? What environmental impact? And I think I'd seen in some email that Innocent can really help us with that.
Yes, I think so, but that's probably Chase. One of the first details is quickly getting into the approval process. I just throw out there August, kind of just my math spitball. I think it's 15 months and then add a couple more months. September, October is kind of that 15-month window. So I just backed up a month, give us an extra month, but you need to verify that in your February project schedule, what we really need. And then to the devil in the details, Chase, if you can, from your experiences, put out the list of all the different approvals, and then Sheila, talk to Innocent about what he thinks he can and can't do, so we don't get caught with some bureaucracy or something. And then simultaneously, we're working very quickly, as quickly as we can, to get Ugandan government approval to be tax exempt for everything that we do, which will include providing a list of all the quantities, materials, and equipment we want to buy that we're tax exempt. So a separate line is trying to save us about $1 million over this entire two-plus year project on VAT tax and everything.
Yeah. Cool. What else in March? I mean, again, we'll add to this.
Yeah.
February is kind of the important thing to talk about today.
Yes, sir. I think I'm good. Sheila, do you have anything?
I think that's it, because the two biggest tasks for this quarter are the engineer and the GC.
Yep. And
then once we have the master, the budget, and the master plan, budget.
Anything else? That's it for us.
A lot to do. It's good.
Yeah, Bill, can you send this out just as a working, or do we have maybe a place where we can all work on it together as a shared drive or something, that as we add things in, that however you want to do it. If not, I just
that's the only drawback from Smart Sheets is we can work, Chase and I can work on it together, but it's not open to outside. We're about to swap over to the web-based Excel probably by the end of the year, but for now, we have to modify this, but we can send it out in PDF and we can add stuff as you guys email us or whatever.
Yeah, let's do that. Why don't you send it out for us so we have it, and then
Yep.
if we do it, we can think about it, and then if you could set up 2 weeks, from now, our next meeting Wednesdays, we'll just start with those and see how it goes, and then Chase and Sheila, I'll let you guys talk afterwards, just to figure out your rhythm as well.
This is what you'll get, Chris.
Okay, got it.
Go team.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bill, will you leave it running or swap it to
Yep.
me so I can talk with Sheila real quick?
I can do it.
Thanks. See you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
See you, Gail.
Bye, Chase.
See you, man.
See
I
you,
see,
Chris.
I see Gail in the reflection.
Bye, Gail.
you.
See you in a bit.
Bye, Gail.
Sheila, do you mind giving me your WhatsApp number? And then
Let me just drop it here in the chat.
That'll
Then
be
you can
perfect.
drop me a
I'll
WhatsApp.
talk to you guys.
thanks, Bill.
All right.
And are Wednesday mornings good with you?
Mm,
Or
Your
is it-
Wednesday morning?
Yeah, yeah. Or yeah,
It-
it would be my Wednesday morning, I guess, your Wednesday afternoon. Or is there a better time that works for you?
Tuesday, 4 p.m. my time.
PM. But the only problem with Tuesdays is I have a meeting early that morning that I cannot move.
It will be a bit later. 4 p.m. my time, I think, is about what time is it?
Right now it is 7:40 my time. What time is it yours?
3:40.
3:40.
So it would be at 8 o'clock your time, I think.
Okay. So the only that meeting I have runs from 7 to 8 and sometimes it pushes past 8. Could you do 4:30 your time?
Yeah, I can do 4:30.
Okay. All right. So Tuesdays at 4:30.
Mm.
All right. Let's plan on that for our weekly meeting. And then are you okay maybe meeting before this meeting on Wednesday? Is that
Yeah, I can do that.
I'll say so maybe 30 minutes before this meeting?
Yes.
What time would that be your time?
This meeting started at 3, so that would be 2:30.
2:30. Okay. All right, perfect. And then did you receive that email that I sent out with some suggested items for pre-work during this time before construction? Let me go back and look and see if you were on that
The
email.
folder, because the last email is the one I responded on. I don't think I've received an email after that.
And maybe you did respond on it. Let me look here. Yeah. Okay. You did respond. Are you okay with that list? Are there anything that we need to add to that list?
I think this list was okay with me.
Okay. What I
We
would
do
like,
have,
go ahead.
in addition, the other things that we had put are the ones that Gail, I think, shared in the budget,
Mhm.
which is clearance, fence,
Okay.
borehole, storage area, same stuff we've just said.
Okay. Yeah. So what I want to do is incorporate all that into the budget that I'll be building out for the group. So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that should be good. If there's something else that comes up that you think of that we need to be working on during this preliminary phase, let me know and I'll include it in the budget and we can get some pricing numbers on it. and then I'll reach out to Gail and get her latest and greatest budget that she has and have her put it in that file for us.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you know of the Daniel Camboni Vocational School? Have you heard of it?
No,
Okay.
I
They
know a Comboni school. I don't know if it is the Daniel Comboni.
It's probably the same. They call it Camboni. But I was just going to say they usually have a pretty good group of class for
Mm,
different trades, electrical, plumbing, carpentry,
yeah.
mechanics. So that might be somebody you can look into as we get further along in making sure we got good quality subcontractors. Um, but
As uh, they are the subcontractors or they are.
that they could be the subcontractors. So like we'll speak with the contractor, but we want to make
Mm,
sure that they have good subcontractors too, the ones that'll be performing a lot of the work. Um,
okay.
Oftentimes when I was there, you might have a good contractor, but he might have a bad plumber, or you might have a good contractor and he has a bad electrician.
Yeah.
Just making sure they have good quality people that are working with them.
Okay, that's great.
So, well, thank you for your time. I will see you next Tuesday then, and
Sure.
I'll send you a meeting invite out for that meeting.
All right. So that's my number. You can just drop me a hi. My phone is somewhere.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
want to pick it up.
I will do that.
Then I'll save your number so that if I need anything, I can just ping you. And once I have all the
That now.
HR, the CVC put in there, I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you in right now and make sure I spell your name right. And like Bill was saying, anything you need, if something comes up, feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'll do that. I find
Yeah,
that with the time difference, WhatsApp is a great tool.
right. It's a little bit faster than email.
Yeah.
77559.
9485.
Okay, send you mine right now. Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Great.
have a good evening and safe travels back to Gulu when y'all. Is it Gulu that you live? Where do you live in
Kampala. I live in
Kampala? Oh,
Kampala.
okay. So you live in a
Yeah,
big
but
city.
I'll go to Gulu first.
Okay. Well, be safe in Kampala. I hear there's Ebola again.
Yeah.
No big deal on your end, huh?
It is, but it pays to have a president who's a germaphobe.
Gotcha. Well, good
Yeah.
deal. Well, we will be praying for that situation.
Yeah, we are. I think the number of cases is a bit high, and the the nurse who got it sort of like spread it.
Gotcha.
But I know that they will do a good job of rounding up all her contacts. And I pray that many of those people who have contracted it
See.
get better.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, then we can kick it out and live peacefully.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
It does create some anxiety. So
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially inside the big city. So all
yeah,
right. Well, you have a good day, good
you
afternoon,
too.
and I will talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye.